All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all you brothers that's also laboring in his work, pushing out this gospel in all truth, faith, and sincerity. Yeah, so I just wanted to go into another quick lesson, which I'm going to entitle this sitting, Wisdom Was Given to Be Applied. All right, because the Most High didn't give us this wisdom for no reason. There was a reason we was given wisdom. Because when you come from that whole atmosphere, that so-called Christianity and Baptist church belief, well, they condition you to believe that you just sit back and the Most High do everything, all right? Well, if that was the case, then what would be the purpose of the Lord giving us wisdom in the first place, man? For an example, if you got a kid and you teaching him a certain skill, all right, let's just say to work on cars, all right, you're teaching him to be a mechanic. Well, you're not teaching him with the expectations that you're going to do all the work, all right? You're teaching him because you understand that he's going to be working on cars, all right? And that's the same with the Most High giving us this wisdom, pretty much to equip us with the necessary tools to navigate through this shadow of death, man, which is Babylon the Great, and to preserve you, all right? So with that, I'm going to just get right into it. This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. Yeah, so really, again, when you read these scriptures, you got to really dig into it and pay attention, all right? And the key word that should jump out is hideth, all right? It says a prudent man foreseeth the evil, which is wisdom. That's actually having the wisdom. But the important part is hideth himself, which is a verb. That's an action. That's actually taking action on the wisdom that you have or applying that wisdom, man. It's one thing to see the evil, but it's another thing to hide from the evil. And to hide from the evil is actually applying that wisdom. It's a term in sports, mainly like in football, recognize and react. Like if you're dealing with a linebacker, he dissect plays. Well, he got to recognize the play, then react. What good is it to recognize and do not react? And that's the point of applying wisdom. So we was given this wisdom for a reason, man, and mainly to preserve us, all right? The Lord himself is not going to actually come down and hold your hand, but he gave you the tools to navigate, all right, through this shadow of death, which is Babylon the Great, all right? Again, it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. Right. This is Proverbs chapter 2, starting at verse 5. Then shalt thou understand and fear the Lord and find the knowledge of the Most High. For the Lord giveth wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. He keepeth the paths of judgment and preserveth the way of his saints. Again, the Lord is not going to come off his throne and preserve you. Nevertheless, he give you the tools to preserve yourself. All right? You know, the reason you see a lot of jakes get their head blowed off, because they don't have wisdom, man. And even guys that have wisdom, they don't apply it. They don't have the, the necessary decorum, all right, to relax, to be cool under pressure, and apply the wisdom that they have, all right? Verse 9, then shalt thou understand righteousness and judgment and equity, yea, every good path. When wisdom entereth into thine heart, and knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. Verse 11, discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. And that's the point. That's what's going to preserve you. Having discretion, man, which is a form of applying the wisdom that you have. All right, when you got wisdom, you got to relax, sit back, and observe. All right? You got to discern what steps to take, what decisions to make. All right, whether on your job, when dealing with your real, the brothers. It's one thing to have wisdom, but it's important to apply it. Verse 12, to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speaketh forward things. See, and that's a direct link to Isaiah, the 33rd chapter in the 6th verse, which is a cornerstone precept for the brothers, man. Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of thy times. All right? Because when you got this wisdom and when you applying it, then you're going to preserve yourself from the evil man. All right? And we know that's dealing with Esau, but that's going, that trickles down to these 2/3. All right? You bump into some nigga at the store. He look at you crazy. Hey, you got to apply the wisdom you have. You got to say, you know what? Let that nigga have that. All right? In oppose of not applying the wisdom that you got. What good is to have this wisdom if it's not going to be applied, man? All right? This is Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 21, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left. Right? And that word that you hear behind you is what? The wisdom. All right? But what's the key words in this verse? Walk and turn, which is again actions. So yeah, if you hear the word, if you hear a voice in your head, which is this wisdom telling you the right and wrong thing, but if you neglect taking action, which is walking in the right way and turning to the right or turning to the left, what good is even hearing that voice, man? What good is even having that wisdom? All right? So, hey, this wisdom is a gift, man, and it is to be applied, or the Most High take it from you. And that's why we are able to overcome. That's why we're able to overcome the same misfortunes that the 2/3 go through. Because, hey, the 2/3, we not the only one catching hell, man. Everybody out there catching hell. But what is the difference? We got wisdom, and we apply that wisdom. All right? When we got a bill need to be paid, or we got a bill turned off in the house, our car fucked up, and we ain't got no money, we gonna what? We're gonna revert to the scriptures in oppose of a guy who gonna go out and rob a damn bank. A bug out. No, we're not gonna call up the old plug and get a pack. That's a form of having wisdom and actually putting it to use. We're not gonna wear ourselves out over the problems that we have, which Jake fall apart. Why? Because they don't have wisdom. All right? Matter of fact, Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 10, if the iron be blunt and he do not whet the edge, then must he put more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. Right? And to simplify this verse, let's just say if you got an axe, all right, and you chopping wood, well, if that axe is not sharpened, you're going to do more hacking, man, in opposed if you got a sharp axe. So again, the 2/3, they go through the same thing we go through, all right, but they got a dull axe. We sharp, man. So where they going to overexert themselves and wind up in damn prison, we got a sharp axe, so we not going to do all that hacking and overexerting ourselves over certain things, man. All right? Which is a form of what? Being preserved. Which all goes back to having wisdom, and not only having wisdom, but applying it, man. You got guys out here that know this knowledge, but is they applying it? Is they applying what the scriptures say? You got guys that's watching the videos, but is they going out on the highways and hedges? So what good is them even having the wisdom, man? The Lord gave us this wisdom to apply it. And that's on all levels. You get pulled over by the cops, Romans 13th chapter should come to mind, and you say, hey, excuse me, sir, may I give you my ID? And, you don't you the devil. Esau, you going into slavery one day, you know? Yeah, you telling the truth, but you about to get your head blowed off and you're not going to be preserved. Why? Because you didn't apply that tool that the Lord gave you to preserve you, all right? This is Psalms 41:2. The Lord will preserve him and keep him alive, and he shall be blessed upon the earth, and thou wilt not deliver him unto the will of his enemies, man. Which again, a person will read this scripture and you know, see and say, well, the Lord is going to preserve me, and that's the end of it. No, you got to hold up your end of the bargain, man. You could read this scripture and go out there and cuss out some trigger-happy cop, man, and he'll kill you. You might say, well, the scriptures say the Lord going to preserve me. Well, you tempted the Lord, man. Why? Because you behaved as a fool. When the scripture tells you about those who are going to be preserved, they're going to be preserved. Why? Because they're going to have wisdom and they're going to apply that wisdom. They're going to be shrewd as serpents, man. They're going to move like a serpent. A serpent don't need nobody to move him around. He move on his own. So the Lord equipped us, all right? Again, the Lord equipped us with the necessary tools to navigate through this war zone, man. All right? Why you think the apostles still alive and kicking? Because they was able to apply that wisdom they got. You don't think they was ever in situations where they back was against the wall and they had to use that subtle spirit that the Lord gave them, man? All right? So I hope this lesson was edifying. Until the next time I say shalom.